Yo, let's go. We got break of structure today on the Bootcamp episode 2. So you guys better lock in today. Super short video. Again, I'm keeping everything super simple, super short, super sweet, making everything easy for you guys to understand. It's not going to be long as hell. So today, break of structure, lock in, take some notes, take some pictures. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. Break of structure is when we're switching from one direction to another. So if we're in bullish structure, we're going to switch to bearish. And if we're in bearish structure, we're going to switch to bullish. Now, this is used to determine trends in the market. You want to know when you are in a trend. The trend is your friend. I'm sure you've heard that before. So in the market, continuation plays are when you're following the trend. So you're going with the trend. You're going where the market is going. You're moving with the institutions or the banks, right? So today is, again, break of structure. Now, the first thing we have today is bullish to bearish. I want to show you guys how we actually go from bullish to bearish, which is also going from up to down. As you can see on this example here, we have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then now the first thing we want to look for in switching structure or breaking structure is a lower high. That's the first thing, lower high. The next thing you want to see is a lower low. Now, we have the last low that was put in here, which was a higher low. Now, we already have a lower high put in, so that's step one. There's 2 steps to breaking structure. We put in the first thing in bearish structure, which is a lower high. Now, in order to get this lower low, we want to go below this prior low. Once we actually go below this prior low, now we are actually in bearish structure. We're seeing that we're changing from bullish to bearish. So as soon as you create a new low, you have confirmed bearish structure. Why? Because you have lower highs and lower lows, and you continue to go lower. Now, the next thing is the opposite. It's going from bearish to bullish, right? So in this case, you start with lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then the next thing you see is now still a lower high, and then you see a higher low, which is the first step in switching from bearish to bullish. The next thing you want to see is a higher high from switching from bearish to bullish. So we have step 1, higher low. Once we pass above this prior high, which was the lower high, we now create a higher high. So that's the second step in switching structure from bearish to bullish. So that's the break of structure in the most simple way possible. I even put it out for you guys. On the left side, you can see the green is when we're still in bullish, and then the red is obviously now switching to bearish, and then vice versa. And the red is bearish on this side, and once we start flipping to bullish is the green. Now I want to show you guys a real example, not just a chart that I created for you guys. So let's go to NQ. All right, guys, now we're here on the NASDAQ. Like I said, I want to show you guys a real-time example, something that I didn't create, but something that you guys can actually find on your own. So right here, NQ, which is the NASDAQ again, we're going to look for a change in structure or a break of structure from bullish to bearish, right? So clearly you can see here we're in an uptrend. We're continuing going higher. Now, how do I see when we switch from bullish to bearish? Because clearly you see at one point we start dumping. Now, I want to mark out the last higher low that we put in. So in this case, we have a low put in here. We have a high put in here. Now, what's the next thing you want to see? You want to see a lower high and a lower low. Now we create a lower high here. So that's step 1. Now step 2. Once you break through this low, you have a break of structure. Right here, we'll type it out for you guys. Break of structure right there. Then you can see that you are clearly in bearish structure. And as you see, we continue dumping lower. All right, guys, now we're looking at a example of bearish to bullish, switching from going lower to going higher. Now, clearly we can see we were in a bearish structure down here. We were going lower. Now, at one point we switched and started going higher. But at what point do you know that we are in bullish structure? So we have some lows put in here. The lowest high we got that we just put in was this one, and then we put in a higher low here. Now, in order to see bullish structure, you want to break through this last high put in. So as soon as we get that break of this high, we have a break of structure, because now we are creating higher highs and higher lows. As you can see, we continue going higher, right? So that's the most simple example I can show you guys on a chart, where you can see the same thing that we were just looking at right here. That was this example, bearish to bullish, and it kind of looks like this, kind of the same thing. Now we came back to the prior example where you see the opposite. You see bullish to bearish, right? And again, it looks exactly like this, bullish to bearish. Take a look right here, the same exact thing that is shown here. All right, that was break of structure. I ain't got nothing more for you guys. Next video, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next one. I might do liquidity. I think I'm gonna do liquidity next. So yeah, make sure to drop a comment, drop a like, follow the socials, they're all down below. All the same handle, official EA Trading on TikTok and on Insta. And let me know what else you guys want to see in the comments. Like what else you guys want to learn so I can incorporate it in order of importance. But next video is probably going to be liquidity. It'll probably be right here. But that's it for today, boys. See you guys in the next one. Peace.